you already using Power BI or you're just getting started? If yes or no, we got you covered with some amazing Power BI dashboards. On this current tutorial, we are going to create a simple call center dashboard, get data cleaned and transformed inside Power Query, create a custom template in PowerPoint, and wow our boss with some amazing, cool, beautiful dashboards. If you are ready to create with me, let's get started. Before we can arrive at this kind of design, so you know what to do, we have to get data, and let us open a clean slate to do that. So come to File, and from File you can see New. We're going to click on it. It's going to help us to insert a new PBIX. Before this one gets opened, let us go ahead and see the kind of data we have. I'm going to click right here. So we have those files right in here. So here is, call 2018 and, call data 2020 right here. So from 2018 to 2020. So we're going to learn how to combine those three files, together to make one single file using Power Query. And now we have the data dictionary, which we're going to take a look at to see what each column stands for and how we can get the best out of it. So in order to do that, let us quickly go back and see what we have right here. So right now, if you're just getting started, here is the first interface you're going to see when you launch your Power BI. So I'm going to show you different ways to get data. So you can click right here and it's going to take you straight up to where that is going to happen. But let us see if we close it, what's going to happen. So this is what you have, and we have the common data source right here, which is import as Excel, connect to Power to database and stuff like that. But right now, let us go through this particular get data right here. So here are the different sources of data you can actually connect to. If you click on more, it's gonna give you more ways to connect your data anywhere you have it. So here are the various ways to connect data, as you can see, and all of that. So right now, the first data we want to get is actually data we have in a CSV or text file, whatever. Just double click it, or you click on connect right here. It's going to navigate us to where the data is. So right now, here we have it. So once you have it downloaded, please follow along step by step until actually arrive at the end of this particular class to see how we can build that beautiful dashboard. Okay, now we have this file, and this file right here. So we can't get them there at the same time, so we have to do it by and by. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to have to come right here and double click. Okay, we're going to push this into what I call Power Query. It's a dimension entirely built for data transformation and cleaning. Okay, to my beginner students, so here you have it. So once I'm gonna before I push this right now, you're gonna have those three buttons right here. This one is actually cancel, which means we don't want to actually activate the data and push it inside Power Query. We're gonna cancel it. Okay, now this particular transform means we want to actually push this inside Power Query, not Power BI this time around, because we want to make transformation and we have to clean the data. While this one means load. If you click on load, which means you actually transfer data that is clean, so it's going straight to Power BI, not Power Query, but you can still come back to Power Query and have it clean. So let us use transform data right here. Okay, here is our first file. So before we actually start to do any cleaning or transformation, let me bring other files right here. If I click on this particular recent sources, if I open it up, I'm going to see all those sources I've actually are used to get data inside Power Query. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to come right here to new, and we are looking forward to seeing something on CSV. I'm going to click on that, and here we go for 2019. Double click on it. We're going to have it here quickly. So what you do is just to click on OK, and before you have it right here, and do the same thing to actually get this one that is 2020. So double click on it and just click on OK once it comes up. So go ahead and click on OK, and that is exactly what you need to do. So we've actually gotten those data right here. The next thing right now is to check each table if they are really cool. So you can actually go right here and scroll through to see if they are okay, specifically the data type. So now the data type we have right here right now is okay, and if you click on this, you can see more data types like decimal number, fixed decimal, whole number, and all of that. So you should learn how to do this. In case you don't know anything about this and you still want to actually analyze data, what you can do is to make sure you highlight a single column and click on Ctrl A to help you highlight everything. And what you can do right now is let's go to transform. From transform, you're going to see this particular one called the text date type. So once you click on it, it's going to actually automatically change every single column to the right data type. So the reason why I always say you have to master it, because sometimes this machine, it can malfunction and it will not give you the right data type you're looking for, but 99% of the time you get the right one. So the next thing to do is to check the column quality. So we might have like 10 million of rows of data inside one single table, so we can't scroll all through to see if we have any error or whatsoever. So with Power Query, we can actually use one single click to do that. So click on this particular view, and once you click on view, you're going to see this particular column quality right here. Just click on it and let's see what that is going to give to you. So right now, because we have every single columns here to be very okay, we don't have problem with these columns, so we're going to see it to be valid 100%. So if we have any error, we're going to see this one to give us a particular percentage of the error, and if we have any empty, we're going to see percentage of the empty row inside here. So everything here is cool, that is okay. So I can go ahead and click it and close it. So the next thing to do right now is for we to kind of combine those three tables together in one single table. How do we do that? Very simple. Click on this home, and once you're actually on home, make sure you select the first table to actually join those other two tables with. So after you might have done that, just scroll from home, scroll to the right hand corner, and you're gonna see where you have your append queries and merge queries. So we have done something on merge queries several times, so you can check our other tutorials. You'll see videos that actually explain what this is all about. So we're not gonna go on that right now. So under this append queries right here, I'm gonna actually click on that. I'm gonna go with append queries as new. So click on it and let's see what we're gonna have. Okay, now we have this table right here. So because we have more than one table or two table right now, let's see what we can do. I'm going to click on this particular trim or more tables. So if we have like 50 tables that we want some kind of append together, like 2018 to 2050 or 60 or 30, whatever, so you're going to have them lined up here. And once you click on 3 or more tables, you're going to have these two boxes, right? So having that box right here which says table to be append, and now we want to actually, we have the first one we have selected, which is this particular one right here, 2018, which is this. So we don't have to reappend this again because already it had been added here. So just click on this new one right now and click on add. So click on the 2020 right here and click on add. So definitely we have just done justification to this. So we have added the same data inside one single table. So go right here and click on OK. Okay, one thing to put in consideration before you do this, you must make sure that the data you have in each of the tables right here carries the same numbers of columns. They might have like, well, this one might be like 50 rows, this one might be 1,000 rows, this one might be 10,000 rows. That one does not stop anything. But if you have like 10 columns right here, 5 columns here, and 20 columns here, that is where it is not going to work. So you must have equal columns for actually each one of them. So now we've just done appending this. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to change this one to my fact table. Fact table. So here we go. We have changed this one to fact table. Let's see if we load this now to Power BI, what are we going to have before we come back right here and actually do something that is going to actually make us to, do the right thing once we have a situation like this. All right, ordinarily, because we've some kind of appended this particular 3 tables inside one table, we shouldn't have loaded this right in here. How can we disable that? We can delete it. We are going to keep it, but we are going to actually forbid it from loading itself inside Power BI. Okay, to do that, what we can do right now quickly is to go to where we have queries and go to transform data. So that is going to take us back to Power Query. Okay, now we are here. So coming back right here right now, what we can do is to right click on this, and you're going to see where we have enable load. So just uncheck it. Once you uncheck it, you're going to see this particular warning message which says disabling load will remove the table from the report, and any visuals that you use, its column will be broken. So don't bother about that, just click on OK, and let us do that to this one as well. So we have to do the same thing to this one, just disable it. I'm gonna click on continue. So we have to do the same thing. So if it is done, it's going to turn to italic, so we have to do the same thing to this one as well, and we have to click on OK. So now let us test it out and see what we have before we come back and load our other data. So right now, if we load, we shouldn't see this particular 3 columns again. They should disappear. That doesn't mean they are actually totally off from our, can you see what I'm talking about right now? We just have one single table, and going back to Power Query, we are still going to have those tables right here, because those 3 tables made up this particular fact table right there. Those 3 tables made up this. If you go ahead and delete this, you're going to have problem with this particular table. So for that, do not delete. Instead, desist it from loading to Power BI. Okay, now we need to get the next data. So we've actually gotten data for CSV. Now we're getting data for Excel workbook. So I'm going to click on that, and here you go. You have this right here, which is the lookup table or the dimensional table, if I might put it right. Double click on it, and I'm going to have it opened. So here are the tables that it contained. So if I come right here and actually hover over this, what is going to happen right now is that we're going to see all the tables that we have, all the columns that we have. But now this is not active for we to click on OK and push it to Power Query. The reason being that we did not some kind of check it. So you have to make sure you have this one checked. I want to get this as well. I'm going to check this, and I'm going to check. Okay, those are the 2 I want to get right. So this is a duplicate of this one. Don't bother about that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on OK right now, and straight up is going to actually push this to Power Query for us. Okay, back to Power Query environment. This is what I was talking about. Now if I go to my view and click on column quality, you can see right here we don't have 100% for valid. This is 43%, and error is 0, and empty is just 56%. So if you go right now, you can see we have 4 of the rows to be empty, and we have 3 to be some kind of with data. So what can we do if we want to get this away? It's very simple and easy. You might have huge numbers of of these null. You wouldn't be able to dictate it until you actually use the column quality. What I'm going to do right now is to click right here and quickly go ahead and see where we have the null. If you can't find it, what you can do is to actually type, and you see that you have null right inside here, and you can quickly go ahead and uncheck it and click on OK. So now we have 100% valid right now, 100% to be empty, and 100% to be empty right here. You can see all those ones, they are 100% empty, which means they have nothing inside them. So what are we going to do to have them gone? Click on this one and scroll to where you have it to this end. So it ends here. They are all empty columns. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to hold my shift key and click on this. That will give me the privilege to highlight those ones without any data that is valid. So go ahead and click on your delete key on your keyboard, and you get it off. One thing I love about Power Query is that you can time travel by coming back right now. If you click on this particular one right now, it brings back the data, which is this is where we left, and we got this removed column right here. You can actually customize the name you have right here. So I can say empty columns removed. So I'm going to click on OK. So whoever actually inherit my report or my dashboard will be able to come right here and make justification to it. If he or she want to change something, he can go through the columns because I have them named. It's very, very important for you to do this. Okay, the next one is for me to go on my employees, and quickly we can spot where we have empty without having to actually stress our eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and have it removed. Then let us scroll through to see if we have any other one. Now we have those columns to actually be the same thing, and I'm going to click from here. I want to scroll to where it stopped. Okay, right here, just hold your shift key and do the same thing and go ahead and delete it, and that is all. So now that we are sure that the whole data is cleaned, what can we do next is for we to click on what? On column quality and get it up. That is beautiful. Okay, next again is for we to actually name this one as our dimensional table. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to come right here. I want to come here. I'm going to say dim underscore employee, which is dimensional table. So you can do the same thing right here. You don't have to necessarily go to that place. Just come right here and double click on it. Once you have it some kind of active, so just go ahead and type whatever you want to type inside it. So, and hit your enter key and you're gonna have the same thing. That is good, right? Okay, we still have one more thing to do. That is actually going to the fact table. If you look at this particular call timestamp right here, we have the date combined together with the time of the call. So we want to separate this in different columns. So how do we split it? It's very simple. Make sure you have the column some kind of selected and go to add column and come right here under the column from examples, open it up and say from selection. And once you have done that, you're gonna see and then new columns some kind of inserted for you right here. Double click it and say call time. If I hit my enter key, I've gotten the call time right here, and now we have to separate it. What do we do? Very simple. So it is 4:33 p.m. So I'm going to come right here and make sure, let's see. Okay, I'm going to say 4. Once I type in my 4 right here, what is going to happen is this. It's going to give me the column that we have just kind of want to get something from. Here is the column. As you can see, here is the column on highlight, and it gives me everything we have on the column right here. And what I'm going to do right now is the time. So have this sign on your keyboard and 33, the same column, then 00 and space, then PM. If I hit my enter key quickly, it's going to actually extract everything out for me. Beautiful. You don't have to do any extra work to do this. So just go ahead and click your OK, and there you have it. Okay, the next thing I want to get right now is to actually get the PM and the AM on a separate column. Let's see how that can actually work. Okay, go ahead and do the same thing from selection. And once you do that, I'm going to come right here. Let's scroll through to see what we are doing. Then I want to come right here and actually double click on this and say call moment. So okay, and now I'm going to type in here my PM, hit enter. You have it extracted for you. So here we go. If you want to see if you have both PM and AM, in case you can't find the AM, once you're done, what you can do is some kind of open this place up, and here you go, you find the AM and PM right here. That is beautiful. Okay, right now we have it as a text. Like the time we have it as a text, that is where the changing of the data type comes in. So what you can do quickly right now is to actually click right here on A, B and C, and you come to this particular one and you say time, and quickly it's going to float to the right hand corner, which means you have the right data type. That is beautiful. Okay, now that we've gotten this done, what is next right now is to actually have a date table right there. If you're a lazy person like me, I love something that is already cooked. So already I have a table, calendar table for you that you can actually go ahead and copy and have it on every single of your report or dashboard and keep using it over and over again. So I'm going to come right here. I want to go to full calendar table, and you have it right on the Power BI here. So I'm going to give you access to it and you can get it as well. So once you have this, what you're going to do right now is to actually make sure you go to home, and let us go to Power Query to have it copied. I'm going to click on this. I want to go to the Power Query environment. All right, it's coming up. So here we go. We have it up right from here. We have it. So I'm going to right click on where we have the calendar. This is the whole table that shows those particular columns. So just right click and you're going to see where you have copy. Click on copy. So we've just copied it away from here. So I'm going to minimize this, and here have this minimized as well. So we are back to our original table. Quickly, I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to say paste. Can you see where I want to paste it right in? Try to get this right. So here is where we want to paste it right in. On this particular left hand corner, right click and actually say paste, and it's going to paste us the new calendar table. Can you see it is working, right? So it's coming up. Okay, give it some time. It's going to actually be right here for you on a full mode. All right, we have the whole columns that we need. So, but we don't need all the columns, right? We don't need all the columns. It depends on the kind of analysis you're making. So you can actually truncate those columns you don't need, because you don't want to actually have huge columns, and you start searching for what you want to use. So you can actually get straight up to what you want to use. So let us actually select those columns you're going to need and leave those columns you're not going to need. So there are so many ways to do this. How do we do that? I'm gonna go to view right here. Okay, I think it's not view. Go to home, and from home you can see choose column, and here you go. Once you click on choose column, go to column. Go to column. So when you go to column, so it gives you all the columns you have right here, but it doesn't give you access to choose which one you want to choose. So that means this is not the right one to actually go for. So come back and go to choose columns. So once you click on that right now, it gives you the access to choose any of the columns you want to choose, right? Can you see it right now? So these are the columns we have right here. So you can actually go ahead and select this and start choosing the columns you want to use. I want to use date, I want to use the month, I want to use the quarter, I want to use the year. I just want to use this particular let's see where we have. Okay, the month number is very important. The month number is going to be used to sort the month right here. So we just go straight down. So we have where we have the a weekday, and we have the weekend and weekday right here. So the weekday is actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, while the weekday and the weekend is your weekend and your weekday inside a week. So that is all about that. So once you are actually some kind of satisfied with the columns you want, so those are the columns that are going to have some kind of visible right now. When we click on OK, I am going to go ahead and click on OK. Let's see. Can you see it right now? We just got to some kind of shorten. This is the columns we're going to have right loaded to our Power BI environment. Do you see it? Okay, beautiful. We are ready to go to Power BI. Finally, we are done from here. What we can do right now is to click and apply. So now give it some time. It's going to load all the tables we have, some kind of brought into Power Query down to Power BI, and you're gonna see it's kind of appear on the field area right here. And quickly we can take a look at what it is and how we can make sense with the tables and start to build our visuals quickly. Okay, right now without any delay, we have it already. So we have all the tables. If we go to the data view right now, we can see if we go to the calendar table, this is what we have on the calendar table. But before we quickly go do anything, there is something I always want you to actually take a good look at, is this particular part right here. This is not going to be sorted from January, February, March, April, and May. That was why we have the month number right here. So you have to use it to sort it. And what you can do, once you have it some kind of highlighted, you can come to this particular sort by column and go ahead and choose the month number. So it's going to help us to sort it by month number, and we're going to have it from January down to December. And on the weekday, where the heck is that? We don't have it right here. I think mistakenly we did not some kind of brought in the week week number, so we can go ahead and bring it back. That's actually give us privilege to go ahead and some kind of bring something that we actually forgot to actually have add on it. So see how we can do that. If we want to amend something, go to Power Query. So now that we are actually on Power Query, what we can do right now is to go and click on our date, and we just have to go and just choose column, and here we go again. So we can go through this way and add one more column, which is the week number. And the week number, this is the weekday number right here, is this, and I'm gonna click on OK again. And this time around is added for me, so I can go ahead and say close again. Can you see how easy it is for you to make changes? So it's going to actually add a particular week number we have just added right here for us. So let's see what it is. Okay, now here we have it. So we want to sort this particular weekday right here by this week number. So what we can do is to click on this particular column tool, and here we go. We have to sort it by the week weekday number right here. Okay, now that we've done that, the next thing we're going to do right now is to actually mark this as edit table. What do we do and how do we get there? So you can click on this particular table tools. Once you click on that, you can go to where you have mark as a date table, and you can choose mark as a date. table, and you're gonna see a pop-up right now. Okay, here you have this. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and select column, and I'm gonna select my date right here. So it should be some kind of successful. I'm gonna click on OK. That is all we need to do from this end. So we are just done now. So the next thing we're gonna do is to go for the relationship view. Okay, under the module or the relationship view right here, those are the tables we have. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and close this for me to have space to see everything I have right here. I want to move this to this particular part, and here is my fact table. We have those 3 tables right here. So those are the 3 tables. I'm going to have to bring this one. I'm going to have this one right in here. Quickly, I'm going to move this one down while I have this, you know. So let's just move this away quickly. Bring this to the top, and we have it. Sure. Okay, now we have to create a relationship. Before we do that, let us understand what is going on and how relationship works. So if I go to my table view or data view right now, I want to go to my fact table. So have this one closed quickly. Go to my fact table. Under the fact table, we have a column that says employee ID. Under this employee ID, we're going to have this employee to appear like to have transaction more than 10, 20, 50, even 100 or a million times right here. Depends on, you know, the amounts of data we have right on our database. So now when we click on employee right here right now, this employee is going to actually appear here just once. That is how we have one-to-many. Okay, for me to make it some kind of very simple for you, let me go to call type, and under the call type we have 1, 2, and 3. That is the call type ID, and we have sales, we have billing, and we have tech support. Then if I now go to my fact table right now and I go to my call type, under my call type you can see we have 3 appeared so many times right here, and the same thing 2 is going to appear so many times. That is exactly what this is all about. So now that you've understood what it is, let us go back right here. Okay, now being here, this is what we do to create a relationship. So we have an employee ID. Our employee ID is going to be connected to our, you know, employee ID from here. So for me to make it some kind of visible, we just have to click on this and have it expanded. So now we can make everything visible. So we can drag this employee ID from here and have it added to this particular part right here. So that is going to give us one-to-many relationship. So if I hover over it right now, you can see it highlights both columns for us. Now the next thing is for we to actually, you know, connect this particular call type ID, but we can't see call type ID right here because the call type ID is not as a call type ID right in here. We can actually go ahead and change that. Under here, just double click on this and have it here, ID, hit your enter key, and that is going to be committed, and it's going to appear right on the fact table, you know, right from here. So now we have the call type ID here. So let's say we want to drag this particular one to the call type ID and mistakenly we drop it at you know, employee ID, and that is a wrong relationship. So it's going to give us error when we start some kind of creating our, you know, visualization. So how can we some kind of, you know, correct the wrong? So what we can do right now is to right click on this, not to delete it and start all over again, but to go to properties. So now we are on properties. This is the one we want to connect to this. So mistakenly we have it right here. So you can see it's on a highlight on a gray color. So what we can do right now is to correct it by removing it from here and just have it right there. All you have to do is just to click, and it's gonna some kind of select from this, and actually, you know, we have call type ID to call type ID, and quickly we go ahead and click on OK, and that is gonna correct that for us. So if I hover over it right now, this is what we have. The last but not least is for which some kind of come here and click on the date and some kind of connect it to what? Connect it to our, you know, our calendar right here. So I'm gonna have this one move down to this part, and that is gonna give me one-to-many relationship as well. That is beautiful. So now we can come to this particular part where we have month number. If I go to my view, my report view, what I'm going to see is this. If I have it opened right now, I am now seeing what? I'm now seeing my month number, which I'm not going to use to make any further analysis. So I can come to this particular view here. I'm going to turn that off. So go to month number. So just click on this eye, and that is going to be turned off for us. And do the same thing to this one as well. We don't need to say this. So we've just done good justification to that. So if we come right here right now, we can't find them any longer. So we can only see the columns we're going to use. So that will keep this particular part here to be very, very simple to navigate through. So beautiful guys, we have just done justification to this. The next thing right now to create a dashboard that we have just like this is for we to kind of create a custom template, which you have done previously before now. So our boss just want to see how many calls we've made and how many of the calls we abandoned and how many of the calls we not abandoned, and he want to see that based on the call type. So you don't want to just some kind of create a basic report that doesn't look any fancy. You want to make it some kind of fancy and feel like, wow, this is what I'm looking forward to seeing. So to do that, we have to open what I call PowerPoint right here on the PowerPoint environment. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one here. All right, here is the previous one we created here in PowerPoint, and we push it to Power BI, and we have that particular numbers being some kind of presented to our boss. So how do we do the same thing right now? So what we can do is to Control N. So if we do a Control N, this is what we're gonna see. So we have to quickly make sure we highlight this and some kind of turn it off. That is gonna go all the way. So I want to make sure I give you this view for we to see what you're doing rightly. I want to give you this full view. So the next thing for we to do is to change the color of the background to the color we're gonna use. All you have to do right now is to right click, and quickly you're gonna see where we have a matte background right here. So click on that, and we're gonna use what I call our custom hex code. So go right here and go to more colors and come to custom right here, and here you have this particular hex code. So now on this hex code, I'm going to paste a hex code right here, which is #110135. So if I just type in right here right now, you can see this particular RGB get to change R, green and blue. So if you don't have the hex code, depends on on the version of the PowerPoint you're using. So you might want to use the RGB by typing those numbers right here. You're going to have the same color, the same exact color I have. So once you've gotten this, what you can do quickly is just to click on your OK, and we're going to have this. This is the first step to that. I'm going to have to move this. Don't forget you can move this, and it's going to create space for you. I'm going to move this and have it right here. I just love keeping my PowerPoint like this. You can decide to some kind of come here and go right and say you want to use this view. I'm just going to give you something like this. If this is what you like, fine. Okay, maybe for the sake of this tutorial, I might want to go with this view that everybody would understand what is going on. Then we can go with it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to get this right. I'm going to drag this right here. Then we have to change the height and the weight for it. So go to this particular shape format, and you can come right here. So we're gonna do it by 7.11 by 523. That is 5.23. So this is what we're gonna have, and I'm gonna have to some kind of move it and have it here for now. Don't bother about how it's some kind of been centralized. What I'm gonna do right now is to go to the line. I'm gonna have to turn off the line. I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna put this on white. So now this is what we have, right? Okay, quickly I have to open this place up, and I'm gonna have to locate this. I'll have to make sure I just drag it down. I'm gonna have it right here. So we have to some kind of turn this around, and to create something we want, I'm gonna have this right here. So starting from the point and connect it right, this is what it is. So we can just move it, and now we have to play around until we have this one some kind of point to this particular part as well. So we want to actually make sure this one points here, and we just have to make sure we drag this one down, and now we can adjust it a little by little until we have what we want. I can just go ahead and move it again. I think I have the perfect match of what I'm looking forward to seeing. This is exactly what I want to see, right? Alright, now that we've gotten the way we want some kind of make this, so what we can do right now is to some kind of extract this away from this. So what we can do is to click on the white one and click on this one. Once you've done that, come right here and click on format, like shape format right here. So once you've just done the clicking, so come right here, you're gonna see where we have this particular merge shapes. So click on it, and you can see different style of merging, so you can see what it is that we have right here. So can you see it? What we are looking forward to seeing is this particular extract. This is what we want. So we want to go ahead with this extract. So click on extract, and this is what you're gonna have when you got it extracted. Can you see this? So next is for me to some kind of click back on this as well and get this just once you've gotten it. Okay, make sure you just drag it down. So here you're gonna have something like this, and now I'm gonna have this right here. So we have to duplicate it, Ctrl D to duplicate it, and I'm gonna have this right here. Then I have this one duplicated again, so we just have to quickly move it right here as well. So I spent time doing this. Please, you just have to spend some time to get this done. So if you want something good, you need to spend some time. So here we go, nicely. Can you see what I've done? So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna have to step this down. I'm gonna step this down. Can you see that? So I just want to step this all the way down and make sure it touches here. So on this point right now, what I want to do, I want to move it like 10 good times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm gonna come right here as well. So I'm gonna make it to touch this. Just make it some kind of this way. So I'm gonna move it 10 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once I've done that, what I'm gonna do right now, I want to come right here and do the same thing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I want to move it to the top again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm gonna come right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Move it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now this is what I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the white one. I'm gonna select this one, select this one, select this, and have this selected. And I want to go right here and go ahead and go to the extract, and here it's gonna give me this. Here we go. This is what I have. Can you see what I've gotten right now? So once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and copy, just get this one. I'm gonna have to some kind of, get it and drag it down. I'm gonna bring it all the way right here. So just have to make sure it goes this way. I'm gonna drag it all the way down to cover this place up. Don't worry, we're gonna have to take care of things. So just make this one small a little bit. Yeah, this is what I have. So now what I'm gonna do next is for me to some kind of click on this and have this click done, and I want to go to my shape, and from shape I'm gonna see where we have a line, and I want to align center, and I'm gonna have to click on it again, and I'm gonna say align middle. This is what it is. It gives us equal justification to all of them, right? So I just want to still have more white space right here. I'm gonna drag it up a little bit, and now I'm gonna do the same thing all over again. So click right on this one again, go ahead and click on middle, and go and click on center. So now you have this. So quickly we just have to change the color we have right for it. I'm gonna take off the line and click right here. I want to go for this color. So this is how I got this color right here. Can you see that right now? This is how I just got it created. So once you're done with this, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to make sure with some kind of click and hold it, click on this. I'm going to have to right click, and once I've done the right clicking, I'm going to go ahead and see, okay, group together. I've just grouped them together right now. I'm going to double it. So once I've doubled that, I'm going to move this one right here, and quickly I want to click on this particular rotate. I'm going to rotate this one, horizontally, and this is what I've gotten. Even this beautiful? That is cool. Okay, next is for me to make sure I hold this. Okay, I'm gonna select this one and hold my control to select this one as well. I want to go right here. I'm gonna say align, middle. So it's gonna just make sure it's kind of give me equal, justification for all of them. So make sure you go ahead and move it a little bit. So I'm gonna create a space right here for something very important. And right now you have to navigate your system to see where you have icons right in. So I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna pick this icon I have right here. I'm gonna give it to you as well to actually get to use it. So I just have to copy that and take it to my PowerPoint, and here you go. So I'm gonna have to drop the icon here. I want to make it a little bit smaller. I'm gonna have to get the icon right here. So something like this would be very cool for me. So now what I'm gonna do is I want to take this color. Here is it. I'm gonna pick the color. I want to go right here, Ctrl A, copy. I'm gonna click on OK, right? I'm gonna come right here and click on that, and we want to go to where we have picture format right here, and quickly I want to go to color, and once I click on that, what I'm gonna say is this particular more variation. So once you click on that, okay, I see already the color right here. I'm gonna click on that. It's gonna actually, you know, give me this color we have right here. All right, the next thing to do right now is to go ahead and insert a text box. If you can't find your text box right here, depends on the version of the PowerPoint you're using. All you have to do is to go to insert, and you know, once you click on insert, what you're gonna find is this particular text box you have right here. Go ahead and click the text box and drag it all the way down. So once you do that, what you can do right now is to type in whatever you want to have right here. I'm gonna say call center right here, and once I type in my call center, I want to just go ahead and duplicate it, and I'm gonna come right here. Oh, sorry for the highlight. So come right here. I'm gonna type in my dashboard. So make sure it's correct, dashboard. So that is exactly what it is. So now we have to make sure we format this to make sure it's kind of appeared well on our dashboard or on this particular template. So for the dashboard, I want to format it. Come here and actually go ahead and pick on this particular area block. I want to make it bold, and I'm going to go ahead and make it some kind of 36. Let's see. So what 36 is going to look like. Fine. So I have to make sure I put it in the middle. Just make sure you do it this way. And I'm going to turn this one to white. Oh, sorry. The font color rather. So I want to turn it to white. So let it be like this. I'm going to have to make sure I format this one now. So once you actually click on this one, you want to make this on 18 and come right here. You want to select this, you know, font type right here, and we have to go ahead and open this place up, and we want to make sure very loose. That is exactly what it is. So make sure you have it centralized and go this way. And now I have to change this color to the color we are using. And this is the color here, so we can't see it so well. Don't worry. Select this and move it this way, and quickly we want to come right to this particular shape format and align, and oh sorry, not align. So we want to go on rotate right now. You can see different rotate that we have. So we want to have this one rotate left 90 degree, and once we've done that, I'm going to have to make sure I move it here. And what I'm going to do right now is just to still be on this particular shape format and go to align center, oh sorry, align middle rather, align middle. So align it in the middle, so it's going to be in the middle of this. And the same thing I've done now is what I'm going to do for this, rotate it for the first time, and here you go. And you want to align it to the middle. Before you do that, you just have to quickly, sorry for that, make sure you click on this. You have to move the text and move it right here where you want to have it. So we can click on this align right here, and I want to go align middle, and that is exactly what we want. So that is beautiful. So once we are done with that, I want to go right, click on this, and go to home. And I'm gonna put it on bold. It can pop out very well. So I want to come right here and click on this. So we can, from here, I want to just like get this. You can decide to make sure it's gonna cover this place up, and once you've done that, I want to just go ahead and take off the line and come right here and just give it this color. So here we go, nicely done. All right, we are almost there. If you look at this, I have this right here. It's just like for me to make sure I don't have some kind of blank space. I just want to fill it up with something. That was how I got to do this. Let me show you how I did it. So go right to the top and come right here. So we just have to go ahead and open this place up, and we need to locate where we have this right in. Can you see it right now? I've used it recently. That was what I have on the recent use. You can search for it under this particular property or under this particular shapes you have right here and get it. So this is what you want to use, right, which is the free form scrubble. So once you actually click on that, here you go. You can decide to just, you know, draw anything you want to draw from here. Can just decide to just do something like this. So here we go. I'm gonna release it. So once I've done that, right now what I'm gonna do is to select the same color for it. This is the color I want to select, and I want to go ahead and make sure it's kind of a little bit bold. And once I've done that, I'm gonna have to make sure it's this way. You reduce the transparency and it's gonna look just like this. Can you see how it is right now? I'm gonna click on this one as well right now, and I want to come to this particular trying to go to something. Okay, under this particular image or picture right here, come right here and put this one on 65%. So 65% will give us something. It's going to change this particular image right now. So okay, I'm going to drag it down to 65%, something like this. 61% is cool, so it's going to give me something like this. So once I'm done, this is beautiful. I love it. I want to go back and get another image for it. I think it's to Miranda. I just have to get gonna go right here. So we want to get this image as well. So from here, I'm going to get the image. I want to take it down to where I'm creating the template right in. So I'm going to have it dropped right here, and I'm going to quickly make it some kind of smaller, just like what I have right now. I'll have to make it sit right to this particular part. Can you see it? So once I've done that, I want to copy the same thing. I'm going to just do the same thing to this as well. Come right here and just get a contrast being reduced to some kind of 60 something like this. I think I'm going to be cool if I have it reduced a little bit. So something like this would be cool for me. So quickly, what I'm going to do next is for me to actually go to home. And from home, I want to pick up the text box from here. I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to type in call center. So we just have to make sure we get it down right here. I'm gonna get it down right here. So quickly, I have to make this one a little bit smaller than this. You can just move it up a bit, and now we can just go ahead and make sure we go to the text. Can move this a little bit. So we're under the text right here, the text form option. So on the text option here, you can go to this particular part, and we can reduce this, and it's going to look a little bit fancy. I don't know how to tell you this. So reduce the transparency. This is how I want it to look. So right now, if we go to the finished one right now, we are almost at the fag end of this. Can you see what we have right now? So this is what we're going to do for the first time. So once we're done with this, the next thing is the header right here, which we can now do have the text we have right on it. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it on this one. So we have settings that we need to do when doing this. I'm going to Ctrl V to paste it down right here. So now I always do settings when creating my dashboard. This is how I'm going to stop it. Now I have to export this out and have it inside, have it move to Power BI. So what I'm going to do now, before we come back right here, make any changes, is go to File, and from File, I'm going to go to Exports. And once you click on Export, I want to actually export this as as GIF. So I'm going to go to change file type. So you can decide to export this as PNG, like PNG or JPEG. It depends on whatever you want. Either of it is cool, but I just love to have it as GIF. So for you to do that, double click on this, and you can see this right here. I'm going to select that. Here is my GIF right in here. I want to select where I want to have it, some kind of saved it in. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm just going to go ahead and just double click on this. Here we go. Now we just have to name this to be my tutorial template. So I'm going to say okay nicely. I'm going to suggest this one. And that is exactly what it is. So we've just done this right now. So we want to go right to this particular part right here. And here we go. Don't forget to save. We've not saved since we had been working. It's very, very important to save, because at any time the software can just malfunction. It's going to shut down and you're going to lose everything you've just worked on. So always make sure to save whatever you do. It's very important. I'm just going to type in here YouTube lesson. That is beautiful. So now that we've just gotten this one saved right now, it is time for we to get a template we've just worked on right here and see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and just click on this particular canvas background. Please do not use this particular wallpaper, but if you want to see what it will do when you use the wallpaper, you can go ahead and click on it and see how that can actually, default. But I just want to use this particular, canvas background right here. I'm going to click on this. And now here we go. We have the one we've just created, which is this one. I'm going to just click on open. So already we have it. Okay, yes, here we go. Okay, we have it already right in here, but we can't see it because we have it on 100% transparency. We have to reduce it and put it on 0, and there you go. You can now see it. So now that we've gotten this right here, it is time for we to start to do what we want. So the question is this: how many calls have we had over time, and how many of those calls are abandoned, and how many of those calls were not abandoned? And based on call types, you want to see how many calls we have, and we just want to make this to be very unique, stand out, and make our boss to feel like, wow, I think I love the presentation you've just made for me right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing you're going to do right for me right now is to insert a helping table. Should I call it a virtual table? No, a helper table that's going to help you to some kind of host all your measures that you're going to create for you to mix them up in those particular tables we already have. To do that, you can see where we have enter data right here. I'm going to click on that. Give it some moment, it's going to come up. So here we go, we have it. So I'm going to type in here, I'm going to say all measures. All measures. I'm going to click on load, and it's going to load straight up to my Power BI. There is no need for you to push this to Power Query because it's just some kind of helper table. All right, we're going to have it right here very soon. And now that we have it, so here we go, we just have to create our first measure. What are we going to do? I want to go down to this particular part right here, and here you go, you have a fact table. The fact table is what is taking the record of every single calls we make on a daily basis. If we make 3 calls, it's going to come to this table. If we make 1 million calls a day, it's coming to this table. So right now, which means our total transaction of calls right now is going to come to this table. And if we have to calculate how many calls have we had over time, this is the table to be used. So right now I'm going to come back here. I want to select all measure, and I'm going to see new measure right here. So click on that, and we have to some kind of aggregate the total calls we've had over time. There is no specific column for that on the table we've just opened, so we have a function that is going to help us do that. Okay, right now I'm going to type in here total calls. So it's going to be equal to what function do you guess we can use? I believe somebody's already guessing. Let's see what you're thinking. Okay, if you guess controls, I think you're right. Controls. So what controls is looking forward to seeing is actually a table, and the table is our fact table where we actually record all our calls. That is going to be the fact table. So I'm gonna have it closed. That is all we have to do. That is just all we have to do. So now we've just got our total calls, and right now I'm gonna actually go ahead and use my comma separator. If we have it in thousand, million, billion, trillion, so we're gonna have the right number once we put on a filter. Okay, now that we've gotten this right now, the next thing is for we to see how many calls we abandoned and how many calls were some kind of picked or not abandoned. That is where this particular data dictionary comes in. So we have to open it up from here. As you can see, we have this particular challenge 19 data dictionary, right? So come here and you're gonna see the columns. Every single column that present in all the tables we have are right here. So what can we do? Let's see what this is all about. So we have call abandons. 1 is equal to call abandoned, and 0 is equal to not abandoned. So we have to actually use this particular column to get what we want. So what do? I can either decide to go to Power Query and have changes on this, but I'm not going to do that. If you go to the one I've just some kind of given to you, you'll see that I use Power Query to do that. But right here, I just want to do something different. So what we have to remember is this: 1 is equal to call abandoned, while 0 is not abandoned. So just remember that. Right click on this and you're going to see new measure. insert a new measure, and we have to calculate the total call abandoned. So equal to this. So the total call abandoned right now is gonna be calculate. So just the new measure we've just kind of created is this right now. And what do we need to do? We have to know the column that says call is abandoned or whatsoever. I'm gonna have, you know, filter, and inside this filter I'm looking for to filter a table, which is the fact table. So I'm gonna put my fact table right here, a fact table, and that comma again, the expression is going to be fact table where we have the call abandoned. So here we go, we have the call abandoned right here on the fact table. I'm going to say where it is equal to 1. So now if you are using 1 and you don't need to actually use double quotation right here and have your 1 inside it. No, you don't need it, just have 1. So if you're using anything like, you know, normal figures like 1 to any number, so you just have to say equal to and you have it stood up. And I'm gonna close this, the calculator as well. And what I'm gonna do right now is to Ctrl A, highlight it, and Ctrl C to actually copy it. And right now I'm gonna hit my enter key. I've just done the justification to that. So right now we might want to see, you know, what we've just done. If I come right here right now, I'm gonna bring my total calls right on a card, like this card right here. So here is my total calls, and let us bring in the, you know, call abandoned right here. And here you have the calls abandoned right here. And now the next thing is for it to bring in our call not abandoned. So we just have to make sure we select the same table, and mistakenly, let's say we want to have it right here and we mistakenly select a different table. I'm going to show you how to get it transferred into all measures. So let us have our measure created inside that particular date or calendar table. Okay, right now I'm going to paste the one I've just copied previously before now. And I'm going to say calls not abandoned, and is where it is equal to 0. So let us be very sure of what we are doing. So we have call abandoned to be 1 and 0 is not abandoned. So that is right. So go ahead and hit your enter key. And we've just done that, right? But right now we now just got to know that, oh, we've just mistakenly added this right here. What can we do to get this back to where it should be? We want to take it back right here. What do we do? Right? So what we can do right now is to see, if we have this open, you can see all the measures. So here we have the name of the measure and we have home tab. So we have all measure. If we click on this all measure right now, it's going to leave this particular calendar to all measure, and that is how you can transfer any particular table you want to. Can you see right now? It's no more here. It has now been transferred to this particular all measure, and that is exactly what I want to show you. Okay, now we are not interested in the numbers. Instead, what we're interested in is actually the percentages, right? So how do we get that inside, you know, this? Is very simple and easy. So our boss wants to see the total percentage of call abandoned and call not abandoned. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do the same thing again, new measure. Okay, so right now I'm gonna say percentage of abandoned. So it's gonna be equal to divide. So I'm gonna just go, you know, this particular, you know, square bracket will give me all the, you know, measures I've calculated right here. So total call abandoned right here, I'm gonna divide that by the total calls, and my alternative is gonna be 0. I'm gonna click on OK and hit OK, and now we have to format this as percentage number formatting. That is all we have to do. So just go right here and click on this, and we don't want any extra decimal places. I just want to have to turn this 2 into 0, and that is all we have to do. Okay, once I'm done with this, again, the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a new measure. And quickly I want to go right and just paste this one right in, percentage of not abandoned. So here we're gonna have to just calls nuts. I'm gonna have my nut here, call not abandoned. So we just have to change this. I hope you understand what is going on right here. So it's not something difficult. If I hit enter key right now, and quickly I just have to format this into a percentage number formatting as well, and remove the extra decimal places from it. 0, hit your enter key. Okay, now we are done with the calculations we want to do, and this is exactly what our boss wants from us. But right now it is time for we to present this to look very nice. So the first one is being gotten right. I love it. I'm gonna have to make sure I format this. Let us have it formatted. So I'm gonna go here. Okay, go here, and I'm gonna go right to this particular genre, and I want to go to effects. I'm going to turn the background off. So now we can click on this and turn off the category label, and we can open this place up, and we can decide to change this to something that's going to look very, like, let us use something like this. So, and now we can crank it up to have something much more huge that pops out a lot. So what if we have something like this? That is beautiful. So I want to have it right here right now. So this is where the work comes in. So we have to keep adjusting this until we have our desired place to have it right. I'm going to show you how to take this back to PowerPoint and some kind of adjust it the way you like, and you bring it all the way right here, and you have what it is that you're looking forward to seeing. If you look at the previous one, this is what we have, and this is what we are trying to achieve. So first of all, what we have to do right now, I'm gonna come right here. I want to just make sure I take this one to the top level, right to this particular part here. That is gonna be nice. I want to leave it this way, and I'm gonna change the color in the jiffy, but for now we just want to leave it that way. I wanted to kind of get this off. I'm gonna have this right here. I want to change it from this. I'm gonna put it on a total colors. That is what I want to get. And right now I want to use a particular here I'm going to use something like this particular star column chart for it. And what I'm going to see this by right now is I want to see it by call types, and I'm going to click on my call type description. Right, so here we go, we have this. I'm going to have to extend this, and I'm going to extend this down. I'm going to drop this down a bit. Something like this would be cool for me. So what I'm going to do right now is to some kind of try as much as I could to have this formatted. So we just go right here. So I'm gonna have this closed. So come right here and go to genre, and I want to go to my effects, and I'm gonna turn this off. That is beautiful. So now next is for me to go to my visual, and under the visual I just have to play around with how I can get those those axis controls. So you want to make sure this starts from 0. It's very important. If it is not at 0 default, please go ahead and change it. I'm gonna go right to this particular y-axis right here. So click on that and scroll down a bit, and you're gonna see where we have the title. Turn the title up, and now you can come right here. Once you've done that, I want to turn off this. I don't need it. I can just go ahead and turn it off. So once I've used that to do my settings. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to click on this, and I'm gonna go right here and just go scroll down, turn off the title as well. So the call type title is gone, and now we can decide to make a change to this part here and just make sure we crank it up to look much more appealing to what we are doing. That is all we have to do. So once we've done that, let's see. Okay, this is some kind of looking some kind of nice. So the value area should be some kind of up a little. So you can decide to choose another something like this that is going to look very much more cool. So I want to take it out from this. So now this is beautiful. So I love this one. So once we've gotten this ready, what we can do now is to change the color of this. But before then, I'm going to have to close this, and let's see what we can do. I'm going to turn off the title. That is good. So now go here and scroll all the way down, and you're gonna have where you have the columns, and I'm gonna click on this particular part where we have FX right now. I'm gonna click on that. I want to go ahead and determine how I want it to go. So first of all, which field should we base this on? Select this and go to all measure, and go to our total calls. That is the measure I have used on the dimension of the call types description. So right here, the color I want for the minimum or the lowest value is this color right here, And for the highest value, let us go ahead and use this white color. I'm gonna even change this one to this particular one here. So go with this. Can you see if it is low here with this, if it is high, it's gonna give me a white color, and I'm gonna go with this. So this is what I have. So quickly I want to turn off the legend, and I have something just like this. Can you see it right now? But it looks a little bit empty. Can you see it now? It's not looking fancy at all yet. It looks a little bit empty. So what I'm gonna do right now is to do something very amazing. I'm gonna have to close all of this, and quickly I want to scroll all the way down, and I have my this right here. You can, if you're using Windows 10, it's very simple for you to get. It's called snipping tool. Just go ahead and search for it. It's for you to take screenshots. You don't have to download external tool inside your PC. You can just get a snipping tool and you can use it. I want to go ahead and select this area. I'm gonna select this area here. That is cool. I'm gonna release it, and now I'm gonna save this somewhere where I can pick it up from, very easy. I can just go ahead and save this on my desktop, right? On my desktop right now, I'm gonna call this my call center dashboard. That is CCD. So I'm gonna click on OK. So I can just go ahead and close this, and I want to go back to my PowerPoint environment here. So here we go. So we can now get what we have just, screenshots. Go to insert and go to picture, and from picture go to this device, and I want to go to desktop, and I want to navigate to where I have my CCD right in. So double click on it, and we should have it. So here we go, we have it. So I just have to make sure I some kind of resize it and make it cover all this part here equally. This is what I have. So now this is where the main work starts. The way I want it to some kind of look is what I'm gonna do right here. Remember, you can do the same thing in Power BI if you want to do it, but I just love the way this is gonna look like. If I have it done in PowerPoint, it gives me more confidence to actually get what I want done. I just want to go right here, and I'm gonna go to my insert, and quickly I want to pick on, sorry, not this, I want to pick up this particular text box, and here we go. So right here I'm going to type in numbers of calls. So once you just got this typed in, so you can just go ahead and some kind of come here and choose how you want to go. So numbers of calls, let us go with something like this, 34, and I just want to make sure I bring this down. I want to have it right here, and once I get to the other part of it, so this one now cannot be moved, I can just go ahead and shift it up to actually get to some kind of align with this one. That is going to look very okay. So right now this is what we have, right? So I can double this, and I can bring it down here, and I want to go right and some kind of make it something like 18. So I'm just going to type in here of the calls were abandoned. So here we go. So we just have to make sure we some kind of have this right here. So we just have to type in here. So I'm gonna say we picked. So if it is not abandoned, it is being picked. So we're picked, right? So once I've done this right now, because I'm gonna have to move this up, I just want to make sure this one and this one goes a little bit up, right? So once we've done that, the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to go right here and take this circle. If I just grab this circle and I want to draw it, you can see I can't have perfect circle. It's gonna look some kind of like oven, whatever it is. So just go ahead and get the new one. So once you've just clicked on it, now you have this cross, hold your shift key, and you can have your perfect circle just like this. Can you see it right now? So this is what I want to have. I'm just going to have this right here. I can decide to kind of make it a little bit bigger. So I want to have this right here. And the next one is for me to have this right to this particular part. Can you see this right now? Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to make sure I have the same color I have for the background for it. So I want to go right and say no line. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and use this. I want to go for this. I'm gonna say no line for this. Quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Can you see what I've gotten now? And I just want to get this one, double this again. Then we just have to get this one for the chart right here. So here is going to be my call types. So call types. So we have to make sure we go this way. So call types, have to align it perfectly. So to align it, if you don't know how the align should be, just go ahead and highlight both of them and just say align top. So you have it. So once you've done that right now, what I'm going to do right now is just to get this from here, get this one. Okay, we can't get it, I'm sorry for that. So we just want to get this from here. I'm gonna go double this. So I'm gonna say based on total calls. So we just have to move this right to this particular part. So once we've gotten this done, I'm gonna go right here to the text area and just have to reduce it. Can you see my design? Okay, now I'm going to tell you firsthand that we have gotten 99.9% of what we want from here. So all I need to do right now is to remove this one, delete it. Can you see it now? We've just gotten that deleted. This is how I do my settings. So we've deleted, if I just Ctrl Z right now, this is the one we brought in. Can you see it right now? This is the one we brought in. So I want to delete it because I don't want it again. Click on delete and you have it deleted. So we have this one left. So what are we supposed to do? We're just going to go ahead and re-export this and click on change. Click on use another file type and come right here and change it to GIF. And here we go. This is tutorial template right here. Double click on it to have it and replace it. Click on this and let us go back to our Power BI environment here. And now this is the new one we are building. So it is time for we to remove the template we have previously before now right here. Click on this part and go right to this particular canvas background and turn off this. Get the new one right. Here's the new one. Can you see it right now? Tutorial template. Double click it. We're gonna have this. And now it is time for we to move this up. Can you see this right now? So now I'm gonna have to have it right here. So I just want to make one simple adjustment again. So just have to make sure I move it up a little bit because right now I don't want this particular white space to have right here. So for that, I don't have to get this back to where it is again. But on this one, I just have to push this one to the top a bit. Don't worry, we're going to actually have the format right here. But before then, we have to go back to here, go back here, and here we go. So quickly, we just have to highlight this part. And just 1, 2, 3, just move it again. Oh, it's too much. Just move it down. That is beautiful. So we are good with this right now. So we just have to, when I work, and it takes a lot of time for me to get things done because I have to keep adjusting this over and over again until I get my desired, design and stuff like that. That is how I get things done rightly. So go ahead and still use GIF. Double click. Okay, just this one and go back to PowerPoint and we have to click this again. So let's go ahead and change this and go to this. So now I think it's okay, right? So it is time for me to bring the percentages right in here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy, Ctrl V to paste it down. I'm going to move it straight up right here. And I want to have this field opened. I'm going to open this place. I'm going to take this off. So abandon percentage right here is this 6%. Call abandon is 6%. And what I'm going to do is just to make sure I go right here. Let us have this one on like 20 and see what we have on 20 and quickly change this one to white. And I'm gonna have to make sure I move it away from here to here. I want to remove the boldness from it, so I don't want it to be on bold. Here we go. So we have to copy this and Ctrl V to paste it down. So I'm gonna move it right here. Now we're getting this one. So it's little, it's some kind of too much. So we just have to come here, and instead of that, let us use something like 16 and see what 16 is gonna look like. Okay, I think 16 is beautiful. 16 is cool. So 16 will take over this place, and we just have to make sure we do the same thing for this right as well. So when I do 16, for we to have the same equal size for it. Now we have something just like this. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see what we have just got right now? All right, the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to make sure we have the number, what do I call it? We're gonna have the data label turned on. So here we go, we have it. We can't see it so well. I'm just gonna click and step inside it and go to where we have the value right in, and now we have to change the position to be inside like this. Okay, what if we still go ahead and play around with this particular inside center? Maybe something like this would be cool. I don't know. What if we change the color, then go to value, and we have to change the color to it. So come right here and change the color to something like this. Okay, so we can just decide to crank it up, and we're gonna have something like this, and that is okay, right? So one thing that is left right now is that I'm not some kind of satiated with the color I have for this, so I can't remember the color of this background. So what I'm going to do is to come back right here and choose it out of it, and just click on the background, or you can click on this and come right here and go to more colors and copy this particular hex code from here. Once you copy the hex code from there, you have to quickly go back to your Power BI and come here and just click on this and go ahead and change the color. So now we have to go to more colors and have it. Can you see it right now? This is what I have. It's making my dashboard to look some kind of well popped out. So 6% of the calls were abandoned and 4% of the calls were picked. And you can see once our boss sees this, it's gonna be like, wait a minute, did you just create this just for this little thing? So can you see what we've just done right now? Okay, now you have all the data to yourself. You can go ahead and expand this analysis and create something more beautiful than what you've just gotten right now. Here, we've just given you a little, overview of what you should do with something very huge. So now we've taught you how to use PowerPoint to create your template, and we've had some series of videos on this same channel that can teach you how to use PowerPoint to create a lot. And we have a complete course for this as well, on how to create beautiful dashboard in Power BI using PowerPoint as an external source for you to create a template. And once you take that, you're gonna look very awesome. So now go ahead and check it out and see what you can do with the remaining part of the data that we have not taught, for you to see how you can actually use this to your advantage to learn your skill and build your your own portfolio, to start looking for a job out there. There is nothing different than what we have just done right now. This is what an organization is looking forward to seeing. Somebody who could actually create a report that will be very, very much some kind of interesting to read and all of that. So if I navigate through to the previous one right now, there are no much difference. With just some kind of duplicate this. This is the previous one we've created right here. So tell me, what is the difference? Much? There is no much difference. So maybe the difference is just like the way I actually turned my numbers right here. So if you want to do that right now, it's very simple. I'm going to show you everything. Just make sure you click on this and go right here and click here and come down to where we have this, and quickly you can scroll down a bit, and now we have it on horizontal. We can turn it to vertical, and we're gonna have something like this. So if you want something like this, it's cool. Now you've just gotten it. So what you can do right now is to check out my other videos on Power BI and Excel, and you're gonna have some tons of knowledge to share from them. So if you love this, what you can do right now is to hit the subscribe button if you're just here for the first time. And if you've been coming to my YouTube channel before now, all you have to do is to make sure you like, share to others, and leave a comment. Let me know what you feel about this. And if you want me to make more of this video using this particular same data to create another part of the dashboard for you, so let me know in the comment section. So let's see you in the next video.